Breaking news, folks. Breaking news. We've just learned here Diddy has been sentenced. We're going to pass it over to our courtroom expert here, Pablo. Pablo on scene here. Pablo on scene to tell us what's going on here. What's going on with this Diddy situation. Our courtroom expert, Pablo on scene. Salute. Y'all know what it is. Fuck it. Before we even get into this, I'm gonna play Die Laughing. Okay? I'm gonna play Die Laughing right quick. Okay? Give people a chance to get up in here. Because we're gonna cover we have a letter, a letter Diddy sent to the judge. We're gonna read it in full, folks. A lot of stuff to cover here with this Diddy situation. But first, a word from our sponsors. Thought it was, I'm back. We're back here, folks, with the breaking news on the Diddy situation. So this is insane. This is insane to me. We do have the letter. The letter Diddy wrote to the judge, which is hilarious. But maybe I'll start with this. Hopefully Court TV. Hopefully you don't strike me for this. But we're gonna play a little bit of this, kind of for those who didn't like follow the trial a little, you know. So we're gonna get a little bit into this. I'm gonna give my thoughts. We're gonna read the letter and go from there. Okay? Hit the like, hit all the buttons. Get your popcorn, spin your chair, all that good shit.
Was pushing for 11 years and 3 months in prison. Court TV legal correspondent Kelly Craft was inside that courtroom for the sentencing hearing, and she joins us now. Kelly, great to see you. Take us back to that point when the judge was delivering his sentence. How did it go?
Well, hi there, Michael and Judge Ashley. The day has been emotional and intense as we awaited to hear the punishment for Sean Diddy Combs. Just moments ago, the judge handed down that punishment, saying that Sean Diddy Combs should serve 4 years and 2 months behind.
I know, I get it too. Like, to be honest, there's just so much shit always happening, and they just keep us distracted with so much bullshit that I even forgot. Like, I even forgot to check for updates. Like, it's the same with like the Ghislaine Maxwell shit. Like, you really gotta be like, remind yourself to stay on top of the shit, because or else it's like, oh yeah, that, like, you know, because I'll tell you why, because justice takes so fucking long sometimes. And you know, even though he's like had this trial coming, the whole trial's going on, what's in the news every day? Is it Diddy? Is it Diddy? And what we should be talking about? Fucking child molester-baiters? No, of course not. We're talking about fucking Antifa in Portland, Oregon, and fucking this shooter and that shooter. And it's like, oh, I wonder why. I wonder why they're spinning our chairs left and right. They got us spinning in our chairs every which way, so we're not looking straight ahead, right?
We put the crib and made that chair spin.
And that's why I played Died Laughing up front, because it's a joke. It's a fucking joke, and you might as well just laugh at it. Check that judge's hard drive. Literally, I was just talking to my mom about this earlier. So, but hold on. I'm sorry to interrupt. Let's play a little more. I'm trying to find, I don't know if there's footage from in the court. I don't know, because it's all like sketches. So I don't know if there was like media in the court, and there's probably a reason for that.
Behind bars for the convictions of 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Now, prior to the judge handing down that sentence, Sean Combs addressed Your Honor. He spoke to him directly, saying, no matter what anyone says, Your Honor, I am sorry for what I did. He also apologized to Cassie Ventura as well as Jane, saying that he is sorry for everything that he did to them, saying that he is sorry for getting them involved in his mess. But emotional and
I'm sorry for every little thing I ever did. I'm sorry. You should apologize for your terrible music you put out over the years while you're at it.
Intense as his children also spoke, Judge Ashley and Michael. They addressed the court on Sean Diddy
Look at the I am the American dream. Sickness.
Combs' behalf, having a very hard time with their remarks, breaking down at times. As they spoke, Sean Combs put his head into his hands, then placed his head down on his knees because he was having a hard time composing himself as his one daughter in particular spoke. So that was quite emotional during the court proceedings today. This hearing lasted an entire day with us hearing from several of Sean Diddy Combs' attorneys. We put up now some of the information that Sean Combs shared with the judge. This was prior to him actually giving his statement in allocution. He put forth a memo in which he talked about what he was going to say today. He expounded on that quite a
Look at this. I take full accountability and responsibility. I know the prosecution wants to make an example out of me. They want to make me an example. But this is just a sample. I just want you to think about making an example of what a person can do if they get another chance. If you just give another chance, I won't let you down. I won't let you. Shut the fuck. Like, bro, you're not arrested for like drugs. Okay. I love when people act like, remember what I always say? I always say this. You'll never see someone say they've been reformed so quick as to after a breakup and when facing criminal charges. They change overnight, folks. They don't even have to see the inside of a jail. They've thought about it. They're reformed. They change overnight. Different person, all entirely. They're a different person entirely now. At first, I was like, wait, Blake and Justin. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. That movie and the fucking. She's like, he did this. And then the footage came out and it was like, really, bitch? Really? So yeah, Blake Lively's a Chun. Ryan Reynolds needs to keep it. Take that. Ready? Take that. Accountability. Take that. Responsibility.
a bit and was quite emotional as he delivered his remarks to the jury. At one point, he turned around, spoke directly to his children, telling them that I failed you. He was very emotional when he said that to them, then also addressed his mother.
I failed you. I failed to get away with my heinous crimes.
At this point, there was really not a dry eye.
He said, I would never, ever jeopardize being in this situation again. Being away from my family that needs me. That's my deterrence. Oh, so you haven't learned and you're not reformed. Okay? This is actually not a good thing to say, folks. Take notes. If you're facing charges, don't say your only deterrent is because I'm away from my family now and I don't want that. How about I regret it? I feel horrible. This is a terrible fucking thing I've done. Maybe that's the deterrent. Maybe human atrocities are the deterrent.
At least from many of the supporters and family members of Sean Diddy Combs, because he said to his mother, I am sorry. And we even heard his mother reply back, I'm sorry. So that was pretty intense inside the courtroom, to say the least. Everyone was wondering what this sentence would be. The prosecutor put forth an idea, the sentencing recommendation of 11 years and 3 months. The judge.
So I'm just curious. The prosecution suggests 11 years, which if you ask me, that ain't enough either. Okay. And what were the charges? 2 counts of transportation in lieu of or like transportation in account with prostitution or something, like planning for it to be like what? How do they even come up with these fucking word salad charges to lessen the actual charges they're facing? And how does the prosecution suggest 11 years, which is not enough, and the judge decides, nah, his personal letters to me were very moving. I've been moved. Get the fuck out of here.
Address that, saying that would be too much, that he is not supposed to impose a sentence that is more than necessary to serve the purpose of sentencing. So he said that was going to be too much. On the other side of that, defense counsel put forth a sentencing recommendation of only 14 months. The judge also addressed that, saying that also was not enough because defense counsel did not take into account any of the aggravating factors in this case. When the judge was imposing the sentence, he took one of the text messages as well as something else that Sean Diddy Combs said to Jane, and he read that aloud. This was from the trial transcript. It contains a lot of vulgar language, so to hear the judge recite that kind of language in court as he was imposing the sentence, it was pretty startling, and the language that was used, but he was just repeating exactly what Sean Combs said per the transcript that he said to Jane, and it said, Sean Combs said to Jane, does this feel like coercion? That word coercion is extremely important because the judge used that today, saying coercion does apply. Defense counsel had objected to the use of the word coercion, the idea that that would be used to enhance the sentence. The judge disagreed with that, saying he will be using coercion because that's what Sean Combs did with his victim. So very interesting developments here outside the courthouse here, federal court in Lower Manhattan, as we learned how many years Sean Combs will spend behind bars. So keep in mind, he was arrested last September. And so he has already served a year and about a month behind bars. So this sentence, 4 years and 2 months. So in total time, if we consider time served, he will only be looking at a sentence of about 3 years now.
Yeah, so that's another thing. He's getting time served, right? So it's 4 years, but it's not 4 years because he already did a year. So he's going to be out. I'll tell you right now, this motherfucker's going to be out in less than 2 years. Less than 2 years, Diddy will be released. I'll bet anything. I will bet any amount of money. 1 year and 8 months and 22 days. This motherfucker's getting out. Pablo Damas predicts it. It might actually be less than that, but for real. But okay, so we heard some of that. He'll be out on Thursday. I'll be out by Thursday. We heard enough from Trisha here. We're gonna get a word from Judge Pick and how he feels about the situation. Absolutely shameful. That judge should be barred, disbarred. He no longer should be practicing. He's an embarrassment to the wig. Okay, this judge is an embarrassment to the wig. Judge Pick would have threw the book at him. Okay, back to the. I want to read some of this. These are key statements from the judge in the trial. I guess his name was Subramanian. Subramanian is the judge's name. It's his Insanian. Submaranian, fucking Insanian. All right, let's put me over here. Let's read some of this aloud, shall we? You know, people's biggest fear, reading in front of the class. Pablo has no problem with it, actually. Let's see. Judge Aaron Submaranian delivered a powerful remarks before sentencing Sean Diddy Combs to 4 years in prison, levying a $500,000 fine on the rapper. Here are the key lines that Submaranian addressed Combs directly. He said, considering all of Combs' history, you clarified the sentence was for the offenses of conviction, the Mann Act charges, and not the sex trafficking and racketeering charges he was acquitted of. He also said that while the drugs may be behind Combs' violent behavior, the court has considered all of your history here, including your terrible music, and your potential hits on music icons such as Pac and Biggie. Combs' success and devotion to family. Submaranian said he has considered Combs devoted to his family, a self-made artist and businessman who has aspired and lifted up communities. Yeah, I can think of one community in particular. the sex cult community. The sex cult community. Okay? Get the fuck out of here. What communities is this dude lifting up? He noted his successes are even more impressive given the struggles in his child. Bro, come on. So this is like a super liberal judge who's like, but the things he had to overcome. Again, not selling drugs just so he could feed his family. He's a fucking billionaire who's committing heinous atrocities. And how the fuck did he even get the sex trafficking and racketeering charges? How do you get acquitted of that? My guess is he had some tapes. Okay, clearly had some tapes. The freak off community, right? He's lifted up entire communities. Yeah, the freak off community. Fuck out of here. But it even says, oh my god. But no, for real. Anytime in a court when they start getting into, well, the struggles he faced in childhood. I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about the struggles you had in childhood when it comes to SAing people. Okay? Fuck out of here. There's not any good reason. It's not an extenuating circumstance you even need to consider for all of 2 seconds. You move right along. I don't care if someone had the worst fucking childhood in the world. Does not excuse any of this and should not ever be considered in giving a lighter sentence. Don't care. Let's say on the defense's argument, Submarinian rejected the defense's attempt to categorize the freak-offs and hotel nights as intimate consensual experience or just sex, drugs, and rock and roll, baby. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. These were, he said intimate. I'm sorry. How intimate could it really be if there's 40 people? Very intimate. You know, it reminds me of Caligula. Those very intimate moments that Caligula would have in orgies. Okay? Roman orgies. Not very intimate. 40 people, dog. Fucking gangbang. How intimate is a gangbang? Especially when the victims are hypnol. Okay? They're GHB'd before you even do anything with them. On the victim, Submarinian said substantial sentence must be given to send a message that abuse of women is met with accountability. Oh yeah, great message you sent, Judge. What a great message that people need to be held accountable. And adding that the court is not assured that Combs will not commit these acts again. So you're saying out of your own mouth, you're not even convinced he wouldn't do this shit again. And you think this is sending a giant message by declining the suggestion of 11 years and also not going for the defenses like 2, but maybe meet in the middle somewhere? 6, 7? No, we're sending a hard message with this one. Yeah, you are. And the message you're sending is that rich, elite PDF files get a slap on the fucking wrist if jail time at all. Release the files. Release the files of Jeff Stein. Another notable development. Oh, okay, I didn't read the end of this. Irreparably harmed. He said Combs irreparably harmed 2 women. Submarinian also thanked the witnesses and victims for coming forward and telling the world what happened. He's like, this Chud is a piece of shit. He looked right at these ladies and he's like, you're so brave. You're so brave. And thank you so much for coming forward. And then turns around and is like, but we're only going to give him 3 years. I'm going to say 3. I'm not even saying 4 anymore because it's 3. Okay. He already did a year up to the trial. So he's only going to be doing 3. So I'm done saying 4. It's actually 3 years. After lunch, there were short statements from a reverend. Oh, he got the reverend. Was it Reverend Run? Was it Reverend Run? Doug. Was it Reverend Run? Oh, Pablo. Let's go. Reverend and re-entry program head. Wow, I think that's what they'd call it. That's what they called the freak offs when they re-entry. It was a program to re-enter heads in vaginas. The defense wrapped its statement, followed by a short rebuttal from prosecution, and pointed that only one of the 5 defense attorneys today mentioned the victims. Of course they didn't. They want you to forget. They want defense attorneys, while necessary in a justice system, and shout out to those defense attorneys that do like pro bono work and fight for people that are getting railroaded. But defense attorneys like this motherfucker had 5 attorneys. 5. Bro, OJ didn't even have 5 lawyers. Fucking OJ didn't even have 5 lawyers. Okay, let that sink in. Motherfucker had 5 lawyers, but defense attorneys like this, complete and total pieces of shit. They just wave their hands around. They want you to forget that there's even victims in the case. They're trying to like convince you he's on. This is a witch trial. It's a witch hunt because he's black and people just didn't like his music or something. Like that's what they want you to think. Combs addressed the court using similar material from the letter he wrote the judge yesterday. Attorney says he hopes Combs' sentence encourages victims who are suffering in silence to come forward. Well, why the fuck would it? Why would it? If he got a slap on the fucking wrist and they had to go through the fucking gauntlet and the rigmarole and be probably torn apart on the stand by 5 different fucking lawyers and every chun in the world questioning the validity of their statements, why on earth would they? This is not a message that victims should come forward. Actually, I guarantee you're dissuading potential victims from ever doing this again. Ass fuck diddly? What's this lawyer's name? Eric Fudali. Ass fuck dick. Ass hat fuck dick, a lawyer who represents others who have filed lawsuits against Diddy, hoping today's sentencing encourages other victims to come forward. I appreciate the judge's focus on the victims and devastation of Mr. Combs inflict their lives. All right, this dude's a clown. Cassie Ventura's attorney says nothing can undo the trauma caused by Combs. And she's not talking about her hair. Combs' sentencing hearing has ended. Judge Combs, you have a universe of people who love you. Bro, this sounds like, can I be real with y'all? This sounds like a fan. The judge sounds like a Diddy fan who's looking at him going, man, we love you. Diddy, we love you. What? Bro, they should have got a different judge on there. Like, exactly, what the fuck? I'm not the only one tripping off that, right? Judge Submarine. Judge, we all live in a fucking simulation yellow submarine. Judge, we all live in a yellow submarine simulation theory. 100% scripted. With lawyers named Ass Fuck Tick Fucktard. And the judge literally telling Diddy, we all love you, bro. We love you. We don't want to see this happen to you. What? Bro, you're the judge. You're the judge. Judge Pick would never. You'd never catch Judge Pick saying any of this shit. Okay? This is redonkulous. Redonkulous. After handing down the sentence, Judge Iran Submerged Submarine addressed Sean Diddler Combs, saying he knows Combs is likely. Look at this. I know you're likely in a dark place right now, but you have family and you'll get through it. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, bro. You sound like a motivational speaker, not the judge in his criminal case. This is fucking insane. This is insane. I'm going to be real with you. I was not going to cover this. Because it's like, who expected anything different, right? I'm surprised he even got 4 years, to be real. I thought it would be less or nothing at all. But when I saw this, when I saw some of these quotes, the way the judge was talking to Diddy, and we're going to get to the letter that Diddy wrote the judge, I said, hey, yo, bro, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? This shit is insane, and this is why we're covering this right now. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. These letters, all those letters that I saw, show you that you have a universe of people who love you, the judge said, referencing several letters from Combs' mother, sister, so his family. The letters I got from your mother, sister, children, and people you've obtained sex dolls for, living sex dolls. Let them lift you up, just like you've lifted them up for so many years. Bro, this judge is cooked. Judge Submarine, perfect name, because this motherfucker is fully submerged in the muck, okay? He's fully submerged in the mucky muck. In closing, Judge told Combs, you will have a chance to show your children the world what real accountability looks like and what healing looks like. Bro, I need to see a picture of this judge, because what the fuck? What the actual fuck? Judge Submarine, bro. Judge Submarine. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Oh, of course. Of course. Hold on. Let me show you what Judge Submarine looks like. Let me show you real quick. Judge Ulan Submarine. So this is him. This is him. Well, let me zoom in a little here. Bap, bap, bap. Bing, bang, boom. Bingo, bango. He's like, we all love you, Mr. Diddy. We all love you. I read a couple letters. I was so moved by letters. I know you're in a dark place right now, my friend. But you make such bangers. Your music, bro, that rendition, the rendition you have done is every breath I take, every move you make, oh, every step you take, that always hits home for me, Mr. Diddy. And because I know you personally affected lives with your rendition of every breath you take, we're going to release you today. And not only you pay no fine, we give you 500,000. We give you 500,000 and pat on the back. That is your sentence. Your sentence is your victims go to jail and you be awarded money because we are fans. Bow down to the great Diddy. Fucking Judge Submarine. This is insane, bro. He promised him 72 versions. Oh, the fuck? Yeah, like someone said earlier, we need to check this judge's hard drive. Hello? Yes, I have a report to make. One Judge Submarine. I do have reasonable suspicion to believe he has children unwittingly and unknowingly locked up in his sex dungeon. Yes, I think Judge Submarine may have been at some of the freak-offs. This is fucking cooked, bro. This is cooked. What the fuck? What? Facts, though, dog. 72 virgins. Okay, hold on. Let's go a little. So now that you know what Judge Submarine looks like, let's go back to this. Look at this picture, too. Look at this fucking. Looks like Bill Cosby. I love it. Anytime people are in court and they try to make themselves look nerdier, you know, like, oh, let me put on a sweater and all of a sudden I wear glasses. Like, I don't know. Something about prison just makes everyone have poor eyesight. Prison just makes everyone have poor eyesight, apparently, because they always be showing up in court with glasses on. Like, I love it. Like a jury or a judge is going to look at someone and be like, I know he's accused of heinous crimes and he has all this evidence against him, but look at this man. Could a man that wears glasses really be a monster? I mean, he requires glasses. How would he even be able to see? How would he even be able to commit these atrocities? He can't even see. He wears glasses.
Porno nips. My bad. I mean hippo lip.
What the fuck? He probably couldn't even see what was going on in the freak offs. He thought people were just dancing to the music. He wears glasses. Judge submissive. The judge sub. Yo, that's crazy. We know who the Dom is, dog. He better stay for. He's not the bro. I'll bet you any amount of money. I'll bet you anything. So the thing is, John, and salute to John. I'm pretty sure he's new in the comment section, but the thing is, they already said he's getting time served for the year, and like he's already been awaiting trial for over a year, almost a year and a half. So he is absolutely not going to serve for because he's only has 3 left. He only has 3 left of his sentence because he's getting time served. And of the 3, you think he's really going to serve all that time? He'll get out on good behavior. I already said he'll do in total, moving from this day forward, he'll do less than 2 years before he gets kicked out. I will bet any amount of money on that. Any amount. Because I know. I've seen it happen too many fucking times, bro. Too many goddamn times. Who's the Dom? Dom, the big rider of the sub, the Judge Submarine says, I'm a fan, bro. I could never sentence you more than 4 years. We need a banger when you're released in 2 years, he said. Every step you take, every move you make, I'll be releasing you. No matter what rules you break, right? Yo, the judge is like, every rule you break, every girl you grape, every life you take, I'm still releasing you.
Crazy. It's crazy.
He won't get out early, or he won't serve the full for like I don't know, bro. I get. And I hope I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong. And I'm all for the optimism. But I just don't believe it. Like, I don't know. Maybe I've turned cynical. Maybe I've just seen too much shit over the years and I've turned cynical. And I would love to sit up here and say, no, he's gonna serve every day of it. But he's not. He's not. And if you know deep down, like me, you know he's not doing all this time. You just know it. So it's like it's sad and I hate it, but I can't sit up here in front and just be like hopefully optimistic and not. I wish I could just live in the naivety and hope that that's what would happen, but I just don't. I honestly don't believe it. You know. Oh, we're gonna get to the it was pathetic. We're gonna read the letter he wrote to the judge, but no, what else was pathetic is the way the judge was talking to Diddy, bro. Like we just read some of the exchanges. This fucking judge is a clown. This judge is a clown, and the way he was talking to Diddy was like an upset. I don't want to say upset. It was like a disappointed fan, and like. He's like, don't worry, bro. I know you're in a dark place right now, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And you're a judge, bro. You're the judge. You're not a fucking motivational speaker. You're not his fucking rehab counsel. You know, you're not his counselor. You're the fucking judge in his criminal case. What are you telling him? There's a light at the end of the tunnel. I know you're in a dark place right now. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. This is not the kind of judge I want. Okay. And Judge Pick here rules. Judge says Combs' sentence is hard. Bro, you can't be serious. The judge is calling 4 years hard time. Wow, man, he's got to do some hard time. This 3 years he has to continue doing. Judge Aaron Submarine, his sentence is hard time away from his family, but also notes Combs will have a life after prison. Life after prison. I'm sorry, that sounds like a fucking bestseller on the Nobel, you know, where they have like bestseller lists. New York Times rates #1 Diddy's life after prison. Get the fuck out of here. Sentenced to just over 4 years in prison. 50 months or just 4 years in prison for conviction. 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. And you know what's crazy is if you've been watching, yeah, bro, Judge, this is fucking insane. If you've been watching my lives lately, or I know this, you know, people, newer people in here, so maybe they didn't see, but we were covering other shit like, you know, the guy whose daughter got killed, and the killer had fucking 39 arrests, 25 felonies in the last 10 years, and he's still walking the streets. And then we'll skip to a video from the UK where it's considered a hate crime if you tell someone, like, if you're in a conversation and you can't really hear what someone's saying, you're like, bro, what? Well, I'm sorry, speak English. Like, speak English, bro. Like, the turn of phrase. You could be charged with a hate crime. It's fucking insane. We watched a video the other day. This guy got a warning for just reading out of the Bible on the street corner in the UK. They said, if you do it again, we'll have to come back. And there was one case, the guy was facing 7 years in prison for a fucking Facebook post. And all it said was, I'm not happy that my tax dollars go to the immigrants. Like, really, I think that, you know, as a taxpayer, I should have a say in where literally, the judge reading it, it was fucking clownery. It was such clownery where the judge is in there reading it with a serious face and his stupid fucking wig on. And he's like, well, this offense not directly inciting any violence is obviously so serious. If you weren't trying to incite hate speech and violence towards a group, why post the comment? And then acted like he was doing him a favor. He's like, even though this could be considered harm category 1, for the purposes of this hearing, I will reduce it to harm reduction 2 and only give you 2 years. So this guy got 2 years in jail for a fucking Facebook post. Didn't say anything crazy. He wasn't like, these fucking towel heads, blah, blah, blah. Nothing. He just said, I just don't like that my tax dollars are going to immigrants. And in UK, that's a fucking hate crime. Because it's not about what you actually say. It's about literally, and they say it in the laws. There's no like defining thing that says what hate speech actually is. So they literally just go, well, whatever upsets someone else. And the judge, out his own fucking stupid lips, said, well, it's not that anything you said directly was inciting hate speech. He said, but someone else could read this and they could decide. So now how someone else thinks is your fucking fault. Like, that's insane, bro. UK is cooked. 100% an example of what America would and will become if we just let the shit keep happening. If they take our guns and make fucking hate speech laws and shit, that's what we're gonna become. It's frightening, but at the same time, like, if you just jump back and forth, my last slide was a US versus UK comparison of like crimes that happen. And like I said, you'll watch one guy has 25 felonies, fucking 39 arrests, literally murders this girl, takes her ATM card, goes to the ATM, cops get ATM footage, take one look at him and go, oh, that's fucking Jonathan Dinglebert, or whatever the fuck his name was. They knew who he was right away because they arrested him so many fucking times. You have that, and then you just jump across the pond, right? And people are getting charged and facing years for literally just saying things that other people don't like. Like, literally, now you can't even preach the gospel. You can't even read scripture in a public square without people. It upsets people. Some other people were upset. Like, bro, this is what we're talking about with, like, comfort zones have become way too, like, radicalized. That my comfort is more important than your right. It's insane, bro. It's insane. But we're going to get back to this because this is where we're covering. I just wanted to give a little abridged, if you're not if you're not familiar with all the shit that's going on. But we did cover that in other lives if you want to check it out. But yeah, salute to John. Consider subscribing and sticking around. We do all kinds of dope content over here, for real. So this isn't normally my type of bag, but we get into shit. So hold on. Now we're gonna read the letter that Diddy wrote the judge, because I think it's fucking ridiculous. Even though, look, it says judge questions Diddy's claims of remorse. So he's like, I don't know if you're remorseful. It even said, I don't know if he would or wouldn't do it again. That's insane. Combs assaulted Jane in June 2024. And so it's like, of course he would do it again. So I don't understand. Why did he only get 4 years? What did he get charged with out of everything? So all the sex trafficking charges, salute Wiggins, salute all the sex trafficking and shit, and like those charges, like at the aggravated whatevers and shit, all those he got acquitted. So he got charged with 2 counts of transportation with intent for prostitution. 2 counts of transportation with intent for prostitution. That's what he got charged with overall. The prosecution suggested 11 years. Defense said, nah, he should get 2. And the judge, clearly a big Diddy fan, said, I know you're in a dark place right now, brother. There's light at the end of the tunnel. You make some bangers. America loves you. You'll get out of this. You'll get back on top. And you'll be able to write a best-selling novel when you get out of prison in just 3 years. It was fucking embarrassing. But now we're going to go to the letter Diddy wrote the judge, which is clearly, and it's funny, the judge even referenced, he was saying, seeing all those letters, and then he probably caught himself, and it's like, I meant the letters his family wrote me. Like, no, you're a fucking easily swayed little submissive bitch. That's why your name's Submarine. And this judge was clearly swayed by this stupid letter that Diddy wrote him. Okay, so we're gonna read some of this. Look at this nonsense. Look at this It says, okay, let me get my rating voice. It says, Honorable Judge Ron Submarinian, United States District Judge, Southern District of New York, 500 Pearl Street, New York, 10027, October 2nd. So apparently it's just a couple days ago he wrote this. Dear Judge Submarinian, look at this first line. He says, I hope this letter finds you well and in good health and spirits. What the fuck? Dog, that's like something you write to like a friend, or no, I'll tell you what this is. This is like an email you send an ex-girlfriend you haven't talked to in 2.5, 3 years, who you've been thinking about lately, but you didn't want to reach out to. And then COVID happened, so you found an excuse. So you found an excuse to reach out to her, and you open it with, I hope this finds you well and in good health and spirits. Get the fuck out of here. Thank you for the opportunity to express my thoughts to you. First and foremost, I want to apologize and say how sincerely sorry I am for all the hurt and the pain I've caused others. By my conduct, I take full responsibility and accountability for my past wrongs. This has been the hardest 2 years of my life. And I had struggles in my childhood. You know about that, Judge. You know all about it. And I have no one to blame for my current reality and situation but myself. In my life, this sounds like a song. In my life, I've made many mistakes, but I am no longer running from them. I am so sorry for the hurt that I caused. But I understand that mere words of I'm sorry will never be just as good enough as these words all alone can erase all the pain from the past that I caused you. It's a fucking song, bro. Over the past 13 months, I've had to look in the mirror like never before. My pain became my teacher. My sadness was my motivator. I have to admit, my downfall was rooted in my selfishness. The scene and images of me assaulting Cassie play over and over in my mind daily. I literally lost my mind. I can't even solve it with antipsychotics the docs prescribe. I was dead wrong for putting my hands on the woman I love. And I'm sorry for that, and will always be. My domestic violence will always be a heavy burden that I will forever carry. The remorse, the sorrow, the regret, the disappointment, the shame. I honestly feel sorry for something that I couldn't forgive myself. I couldn't forgive myself for. I couldn't forgive someone else for this. But I'm asking you to forgive me. If you could reach down deep and find it in your heart to forgive me. I honestly feel sorry for something I couldn't even forgive myself for. Couldn't forgive someone else for neither. If they put their hands on my daughters, it'd be a motherfucking slaughter. This is why it's so hard for me to forgive myself. It's like a deep wound that leaves an ugly scar. Your Honor, I thought I was providing for Jane concerning her and her child. But after hearing her testimony, I realized that I hurt that woman. And for this, I am deeply sorry. I lost my way, yo. I lost my way. I got lost in my journey, lost in the drugs, lost in the excuses. My downfall was rooted in my selfishness, and I've been humbled and broken to my core. Jail is designed to break you mentally, physically, spiritually. Over the past year, there have been so many times I wanted to give up. There have been so many days I thought I would be better off dead. I thought about Epstein and myself. The old me died in that jail, and a new version of me was reborn through the smolder. Prison will change you or kill you, whatever you choose. I choose to live. I choose to live. What the fuck? Shut the fuck up, dog. No, you can. Oh, really? You can? I don't know. I don't know if all the people can read, dog. Pablo, it sound dumb as shit. Oh my god. Nah, man. Fire. Wait, it's the judge who decides. It's the jury and buying hosing. No. You can. So you can decide. You can decide on a jury trial or a judge. You can decide that if you want. You can go with a judge instead of a jury, like 100%. But the judge is the one who decides sentencing either way. Like even if the jury is the one, they can find you guilty on charges, but it's up to the judge for sentencing. I choose to live sounds like a Creed song. Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, bro. If you're facing, I say this all the time. People learn shit on a Pablo stream every day. You can choose, if you're facing charges, you can choose a jury trial or to be judged by just the judge instead of the 12 dumb fucks. Sometimes, in certain cases, I see why you would do it. If it's like matters of the law, and you know that a jury doesn't know the law as much, and it's almost like that happens more so when people kind of know they're smoked. Like there's so much either circumstantial evidence or shit just like looks really fucking bad. And people kind of know they're smoked, so they opt out of the jury trial and they go more for like the actual legal written like examples of the law, and they hope that their argument is more so of like a legal defense. Like, well, in statute B, it's like they go based more on like the wording of actual statutes in the law and hope that a judge will go more by like the legal arguments as opposed to like proving their, you know what I mean? That's usually what happens in cases where people choose a judge instead of the jury. I don't know, man. I don't know what I would do if I was ever like on trial for murder. But yes, we're back to reading, folks. Every day since my incarceration, as difficult as my circumstances currently are, I have made the best of my time reading books, yo. Reading Rainbow. writing, working out, or in therapy, obtaining the tools and the knowledge to deal with my past drug abuse and anger issues. I've been putting in the work and working diligently to become the best version of myself, and I assure that I will never, ever make that mistake again. I realize I am in a situation where no amount of money, power, or fame can save me. Only the one true God can save me. My grandmother used to teach me that God makes no mistakes, and everything he does is for your good. I believe that a bad situation can be used for good. Although the situation has been the hardest and darkest in my life, good things have come out of my incarceration. For starters, I am now sober for the first time in 25 years. I've been trying my bestest to deal with my drug abuses and my anger issues. And I take no excuses, but I take accountability for my abuses. I'm sorry. I'm a fucking wild. But as we take positive steps towards healing, one of the most beautiful things I've experienced being asked by my fellow inmates to teach and mentor them, teach them how to get away, how to throw freak offs, how to hide evidence, how to bribe judges, how to bribe submarinian judges on your side. They wanted to learn what I did to become a successful businessman. I was inspired by their hunger and desire to learn information in order not only to set goals to achieve for any goal or dream that their hearts desire. I started he started teaching a 6-week program called Free Game. This motherfucker. So here's a little glimpse for you, right? If you thought, oh, Diddy's sentenced, he's going away, he's doing 4 years. Oh, it's gonna be, they're gonna treat him like shit in jail because he abuses women and he's gonna get beat up. But think again. The reality is he's pimping these motherfuckers out. He's getting them to give him his commissary. He's shaking and grooving. He's on the top on the inside, teaching fucking programs called Free Game, title given by fellow inmates, which I was able to have approved and sanctioned by the Bureau of Prisons. You think, like the judge said, he's doing hard time. Oh yeah, it's such hard time where literally the prison sanctions him to teach classes. This is fucking cooked, bro. This is cooked. You're gonna get high as hell when you get, nah, for real, dog. But this is, I mean, for real. Look at this. Look at the people, like, you know, and respect to John. I get what he's saying, and I wish the world was different. But the reality is, he's a rich ass motherfucker, and a lot of people these days don't have fucking morals. So he's not even like getting pressed in prison. He's not even having like a hard time behind bars, dog. He got fucking 3 years, 4 in total, but he already did 1. So there's 3 years left. And then his first year there, he already was been sanctioned by the Bureau of Prisons to teach fucking classes to other inmates. So I don't just teach about my success. I also teach about my mistakes and my failures. It's truly been a blessing to do something positive in a negative situation. And I bet they even brought this up in court as like a thing to go towards his character. Like, look, even in prison, he's making a difference. Even in prison, he's helping the community. Like, get the fuck out of here, dog. This is fucking embarrassing. It's been beautiful to see the newfound hope in my fellow inmates' eyes that one day they may bribe a judge and be able to selectively masturbate a 14-year-old girl and get off with it. Hopefully one day they'll be able to run sex trafficking rings. This is cooked. The most shocking thing was to see the unity and the peace the classes produced. As you are probably aware, jails and prisons are segregated places. And of course, what he means by that is protective custody for PDF files and then Gen Pop is what he's talking about. Segregation. It's Gen Pop and PC for the snitches and PDFs. Okay. But he's trying to make it look like in our class, we have black, Spanish, white, Asian. We got a mix all between. We got Clips. We got Greg the Greats. We got Pablos. We got Android Wigginses. Get the fuck out of here, dog. They're all working together for one common goal. We even have an interpreter for the Spanish-speaking inmates. Well, I'm sorry. Do you have a signer? Do you have a deaf signer for your deaf inmates? Not all inclusive. Someone should bring up a lawsuit against him for his class not being all inclusive to deaf inmates. The biggest miracle I've seen in the class of gangs such as Bloods, Crips, and MS-13, Trentarios, and 18th Streets in one room working together. So if this isn't a giant glaring red flag, he's not saying like he's just teaching the average person. The government is like probably going to give him a grant to teach these classes. And who is he teaching of all people? Gang members. He's teaching gang members such as MS-13, also a la human traffickers. I taught them how to be successful. So what the fuck do you think he's really teaching these people? Why do you think these gang members signed up to the course? They're trying to think about how to expand their business, and their business is selling humans. Fucking ridiculous. And I'm so proud to say, since this class started, there have been no fights on this unit. This class has also helped me in my time and need of despair. Being able to do something good for others has given me much needed hope. God bless me with this opportunity to help others, and I will continue to do so. I ask for your mercy today, not only for my sake, but for the sake of my children. God bless me with 7 beautiful children, 3 sons and 4 daughters. Their names are, bro, I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck about your kids' names, bro. Trying to levy sympathy from a judge. These are my kids' names. Yeah? How about their mother? Huh? Kim Porter, who tragically passed away. I am their only parent, and I failed my children as a father. My father was murdered when I was 3 years old, so I know firsthand what it's like to not have a father. More than anything, I just want the opportunity to return home to be a father that they need. And he's talking about it's like full adult children, too. It's fucking cooked, bro. This dude is cooked. I wish he would have got? What do you mean? I don't even know what you mean. Nah, no. Hold on, I skipped. They skipped the part about delivering and consuming pizza. Hold on. When I stomped on Cassie, I realized something was wrong, man. My way of thinking was broken. This dude's fucking cooked, yo. He's cooked. Be the father they deserve. God also blessed me with the greatest mother in the world. My mother sacrificed her life and dreams to provide for me and younger sister, Keisha. She worked 3 jobs to make sure. Now we started bringing up his sisters. My mom used to work to bring home groceries, and she used to. The fuck that got to do with your charges? You're a grown ass man, bro. The fuck you talking about? When my mother worked in fucking 1982, what that got to do with you, bro? With you and your charges? My mother is now 84 years old and recently had brain surgery. Despite her own health challenges, she attended my trial every day. I have always been her primary caregiver, which is why you can't send me to jail. It breaks my heart I put myself in this situation, and for the first time, I am unable. And therefore, when she needs me the most, as I write this letter, I'm scared to death. I'm scared to spend another second away from my mother. She might pass away in the middle of the night, and I will never forgive myself for the things I've done to put myself in this situation. I understand that one factor of the court has to consider its deterrence, but deterrence for me is not the atrocity I've committed and realizing I was wrong for stomping on women and being a sexual trafficking ringleader. My deterrence is I don't ever want to be away from my family. Okay? For over a year, I've been locked in one small, tiny room, 4x4 cell with 25 other incarcerated Stop it, dog. Sharing the same room with one. In this room that I share, this sounds like a poem. In this room that I share, there are no windows, no natural clean air. There is no sunlight, and we all live in there. In the one room, we eat, we sleep, we use toilet paper in there. We take showers, prepare meals in that same room. It's where it's clear, the conditions, but not the air conditioner. I can't even get products to put in my hair. The conditioners of the actions that place me are inhumane. I tell you this, not to pity me or sympathy. A bar, not to pity me or sympathy, but to simply. He said it. I'm simply, bro. He's writing this like bars to tell the judge. The room that I live in, we eat, sleep, and use. Toilet paper abuse. Drugs we use. I tell you this not to pity me or sympathy. I'm simply sharing my truth and the truth of my fellow incarcerated people. We have no clean drinking water to boil our water. We also share one washing machine and the things we see. And I'm surrounded by drugs. I live life every day on a constant threat of being stabbed or losing my life again. I'm expected to not be pity or sympathy. Don't pity me. I'm simply saying, but my time at MDC has changed me forever and for the better. So prior to being in jail, well, I'll tell you the story, and here's how it goes. I took care and was present of my family, and being in jail for me was because of my conduct. Man, I lost my way. I got stuck. I lost the ability to take care of my mother, and now she has to mentally suffer. I lost the ability and effectiveness to raise and support my children. See, I've been missing, and the things I miss from my 3-year-old daughter's prom, graduations. Man, it's an embarrassing statement, but I miss to take care of my daughter to college. I lost some freedom to teach my 2-year-old how to speak, dance, or play, sheesh, or to be there to console her when she falls down from this nightmare. I'm scared, man. So this realization right here is where I started from nothing and worked so hard to earn every day that I had, and I wish that I could just go back. Because I hate the things that I did, the way that I attacked and stomped on Cass. But because of my conduct, I have lost all my businesses. I lost my career. I lost my charter schools, and I lost the charter schools that I started, dude. And I destroyed my reputation. I stained my reputation and those who worked for me. I lost my being present with my family. And being all my losses and lessons, this is the hardest one I'm digesting. I can state for the fact that I will never be in another criminal facility or courtroom again. Yeah, I do not believe that any person would do anything similar to me out of fear from being a similar punishment from the government. But if you give me another chance, I would like to seize this opportunity to share my story with the people to prevent all the last but not least, at least one person from making this mistakes that I've made, because I've changed. Dog, he's literally rapping bars. He's rapping bars to the fucking judge. Dog, what the fuck? He's literally writing bars to the judge.
It's crazy.
That's insane, bro. That's fucking insane. And I would just like to say the time I paid and the oh shit. It's because I can't change the past, but I can change the future. I know that God put me here to transform me. So I will be the vessel he needs to use, bruh. And since incarceration, I've gone through a spiritual reset. And I'm on my journey that we just take the time and hard work. And I'm proud to say I'm working harder every day. And if I ever have than I ever had before. So praise the Lord, because I'm committed to the journey remaining drug-free. So you'll just see that nonviolent and peaceful me, because I'm just another person. And I thank God for making me stronger. I'm yearning to be wiser, clean, clear, and sober. Oh, I can't wait till this 3 years is over. God makes no mistakes. There's no debate. So I realize the trial has received a tremendous amount of global press. But Your Honor may be inclined to make an example out of me, but I would ask Your Honor to not make an example out of me, or what a person could do, or what a person could be, and afforded the second chance that you've afforded to me. And if you allow me, go home to my family. I promise I will not let you down. I will make you proud. And today I humbly ask you for another chance, and just another chance from another man to be another better father, and another another chance to be a better son, another better husband, another chance to be a better leader in my community, a better chance to live a better life drug free. I'm writing this not to gain sympathy or for you to pity me, but simply for the truth in my existence to change my life forever. Will never commit those crimes again. Sincerely, thank you for your time and consideration, Judge Submarine. Judge Submarine. He literally wrote him bars. What the fuck? What?
Pablo kill him if he clout chasing. Matter of fact, Pablo that great.
Sean Diddy was like, yo, this is probably the most pressure he's ever been under. He's like, I've never been a great writer, but I gotta write these lyrics like my life depended on it. And you can't tell me that shit was on accident. When he said, I'm not asking you to pity me or for sympathy, but I'm simply asking, like, he was fucking trying to rhyme, bro. He was trying to rhyme in that shit.
Still, gonna hear me when I die, still.
That's fucking hilarious, though. Oh, yeah. So that was the infamous letter he wrote the judge. It was fucking, it's great. But I guess now we can go back to the court TV. Oh, wrong one. Let's pull this up. I guess I could drop the link too if other people want to come up and give their opinion.
Behind bars. The total sentence, though, is 4 years and 2 months. But because of time served, we're looking at about 3 years.
Oh, Kelly, I have some questions. One of my questions is this. We know, and we've seen and shown viewers parts of the video that we know the defense team showed to the judge about Sean Diddy. And it was, I would call, more of a PR campaign about the good works that he'd done in the city and his relationship with people there. Compare, if you would, the statement he made and how he came off during that statement versus that video, in which, again, I would describe that more as a PR video than a personal, effective plea to a court.
Facts, bro.
Judge Ashley, this was quite the production. You usually do not.
Wait, why did they show a Shark Tank clip? Why did they show a Shark Tank clip? What the fuck?
Describe that more as a PR video than a personal, effective plea to a court.
Judge Ashley, this was quite the production. You usually do not see sentencing hearings like this that last all day and have that kind of video production and have a situation where you've heard 5 defense counsels speak on his behalf. You're taking a look at that video as we speak, and many people were talking about it, and the prosecution was juxtaposing that video with the video that we have seen at the Intercontinental Hotel of him, to use the judge's words, savagely beating Cassie Ventura. So the contrast is quite stark, to say the least. What the judge said is, I recognize that Sean Diddy Combs has done so much for communities, for the...
I'm surprised he didn't make a bar out of it. He's like, yo, you seen the footage? I aced Ventura. Or some dumb shit, you know? That's some dumbass battle rapper is going to have a bar like that. Yo, my Desert Eagle and my PET detective, I ace Ventura. Like Diddy on cam.
Black community, that he is a family man, a man of faith, takes care of his mother. But the judge said no amount of good deeds like we have seen here in these videos can make up for when, for instance, that Intercontinental video was played. Sean Diddy Combs didn't know the tape was rolling.
Right, he says that. You know, the judge says all these character witnesses and no amount of good that you do in the community will ever make up for it. And you're going to get hard time of 4 years. And don't worry, there's light at the end of that tunnel, brother. And I know you're in a dark place right now, but things are going to look up and you're going to get out of jail one day and you'll be back on top. I promise. What? This sounds like 2 different people, not the same one judge.
Is he all right? For real? Is he all right? For real?
Oh, really? That's crazy. That's crazy.
and that savage beating, which is the real Sean Combs. So those are kind of the words that the judge was expressing today as he was fashioning his sentence. And we heard that from both sides. Who is the real?
I will never believe that this judge wasn't somehow got into, compromised, either, like I said, check his hard drives, Anthony Weiner's laptop, dog. I don't know. Do you see a picture of Judge Submarine? I think his screensaver is Anthony's Weiner. But for real, I'll never believe that he wasn't got into in some way, that someone out there didn't put pressure on something. I don't know if they like made threats to his kid, if he has kids or something, his mother. This judge was got into, allegedly, my opinion, that this judge was 100% got into, somehow compromised, was leaned on, put pressure on. Diddy 100% leveraged all the tapes he had of all these A-list, not even A-list, like super duper A+ list celebrities that are probably all on cam doing horrendous shit to like fucking drugged out GHB 14-year-old fucking like Chinese girls and shit. Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck really knows? But he 100% was leveraging these tapes he had, and people didn't want to see him go away, and they knew they had to give him something. They knew they had to give him something. They couldn't just say they couldn't let him walk free, because it would look fucking insane. Even though, I mean, really, if we're being real, no one would have done a fucking thing about it. No one would have done a thing. If they just said released on time served and opened the gates and just let him out, no one would have done a fucking thing besides go, that's crazy. No one would have done shit about it. So, but still, I feel like just for public scrutiny and for the optics of it, they felt like, I think even Diddy at one point was like, he's got to put on the show, like he's super sad, but in his mind and heart and soul, he's like, oh my God, thank God I'm only getting 3 more years, and I'm gonna get out in 1. He'll be out in less, like I said, like a year, bro. At most. I'll be surprised if he even serves a year. We'll hear about it. Here's the thing. People will move on. They'll forget about it. The whole news cycle. We'll get barraged with news cycles of Trump, fucking Charlie Kirk this, fucking Antifa that, Portland, Oregon, fucking what's going on in this state, ICE agents, another attempted this or that, and more crime. We'll get bombarded with 100 news cycles, and in 6 months, we'll hear one light news story about how Diddy is being released early on good behavior, and it's stirring up some controversy that people don't believe, and no one's going to do a fucking thing about it. Everyone's going to go on with their day, and they're going to post a meme about it and say how it's fucked up and be like, oh, he should have got more time. But he's going to walk free in 6 months. Clearly all a fucking sham. It's this sham trial. Clearly this judge couldn't even hide his bias for this man. He tried to pretend like fucking compromise Judge Submarine. Judge, we all live in a yellow submarine, a yellow submarinian, a yellow simulate. We all live in a fucking simulation, a fucking simulation, a fucking simulate. Oh.
Sean Diddy Combs. We heard the one side, the prosecutors calling him a pimp.
The prosecutors calling him a pimp. He's such a clown and narcissist. He probably puffed his shoulders up to it, dusted his shoulders up. Yeah, that's right, I'm a pimp. The prosecutor's like, this man is a pimp. And he's like, yeah. Oh, shit, I'm in court. No, I am not a pimp.
Sides. Who is the real Sean Diddy Combs? We heard the one side, the prosecutors calling him a pimp, where defense counsel was saying he's not a pimp because he wasn't paid. The judge said he was paid in his sexual gratification.
Damn. you're not a pimp if you're not getting paid. How is that a good argument? It's like when the people say like, oh, prostitute. Well, you're not you're a prostitute that's just not getting paid. Like, how is that your argument? I'm not a pimp. I'm not a pimp. I did it for the love. I did it for the love of the game, he said. Bro, you can't be serious. The fucking defense attorney said he's not a pimp. He did it for the love of the game. Get the fuck out of here.
Fair enough. Now we're looking at a live shot there of the courthouse. We're expecting press availability.
But yeah, 100%, bro. It's fucking easy as hell to get out on time and like good behavior when you're not in general population. What trouble are you gonna get into? And it's not like it's not like he has like, oh no, they're not tossing his cell for contraband. They fucking granted him like the authority to teach this class to gang members. That's 100% gonna go towards his good behavior. And be like, well, not only is there hasn't been an incident, he's actually helped reform and help these criminals and blah 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 blah. And if he gets back in front of fucking the fan Judge Submarine, he's gonna let this dude walk. No problem in like 6 months.
Shortly. As soon as anything gets going out there outside the courthouse, there it is. We're going to take you there live. So we'll stand by and wait for that to happen. In the meantime, Doug Wigdor, he's Cassie Ventura's attorney, he has released the following statement. While nothing can undo the trauma caused by Sean Diddy Combs, the sentence imposed today recognizes the impact of the serious offenses he committed. We are confident that with the support of her family and friends, Ms. Ventura will continue healing, knowing that her bravery and fortitude have been an inspiration to so many. And Kelly, I just want to find out, what was the reaction of Diddy and his team when the judge handed down the sentence?
So, Michael, I was taking a look at his team. Shapiro, one of his defense counsels, as the judge was making his remarks, as he was discussing the reasoning behind his sentence, she had her hands crossed.
Bro, how many attorneys or like fucking prominent, how many Shapiros are there? It's always a Shapiro, you know?
Because it appeared that she was feeling that this is not going well. And then we heard the 50 months. So we heard it once, and then I think everyone wanted to make sure we heard it correctly. The judge, then repeated it again because he mentioned.
I know, and I'm sure in Submarinian's accent when he said 50 months, because they didn't say 4 years, it said 50 months. People were probably like, excuse me? How many? They're doing the math in their head. Some of them probably making sure they didn't hear 15 because of his accent. They're probably like 15 months. And they're like, 15 or 50? And then even 50, they did the math and they're like, wait, what the fuck? 50 months? That's it?
50 months. And then he said a few minutes later, so now I'm going to impose my sentence. So it was an interesting way to propose what he was going to do. At that time, Shapiro no longer was crossing her hands. Sean Diddy Combs was just sitting there, sitting kind of back in his chair. No real reaction from him, but he was facing a lot longer because, of course, when you even take a look, and the judge mentioned that even if these were to run concurrent, the two charges of transportation to engage in prostitution, if you run those sentences concurrently, taking a look at the statutory minimums, the maximum is 20 years. So 10 counts run concurrently, so 10 years. He was saying the prosecution proposed more than that. So that was not right. But so when Sean Combs was hearing what the judge said, and then that came down as the 50 months, you could tell that there was no reaction, but I think it was better than what they had thought he was going to impose.
Yeah, I think it might be as well. I was personally a little surprised. I thought he would impose more. Michael, Kelly, I think the other piece of this is a lot of viewers have been commenting about how many people believe that he has gotten away with things as long as he has because of he's charismatic and his approach, and that he thinks he can just smile and make things go away and convince everybody he's this great guy. And I guess my question is, at any point during this sentencing hearing, did you observe anything that came off as he believed that he could walk in there and really charm his way into a good sentence?
Whew, you know what? His statement and Alex.
But he did. Clearly he did. That dumbass letter he wrote to the judge is sitting there blushing. Bro, I'll bet you anything. This fucking Judge Submarine, Judge, we all live in a yellow submarine, probably has that letter from Diddy framed. He has that letter framed, and he reads it to himself all the time. And he probably rubs it up against it. Oh, Diddy letter. Oh, Diddy letter. Fucking clown fuck. So clearly it did work.
Execution was powerful. It brought tears to many people's eyes. He talked about his drug addiction and how he is a different man when he is on drugs, which of course, you know, everyone knows.
All right, bro, I'm going to say this, and I don't care what flack I get for it. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. If you know, you know. Pablo, I had an addiction in the past. Been clean almost 10 years now. But this whole fucking thing that people try to do where they act like, look, listen, does being on drugs and especially like addicted to a specific drug, does it change your personality and how you, obviously goes without saying. Okay. No amount of drug use turns you into a literal monster where you will beat women and traffic in humans, and it's because I was a different person on drugs. No, I'm sorry, no. We need to stop. We need to stop this fucking bullshit excuse for any crime is that, well, I was on drugs and I was a different person on drugs. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of my face with that bullshit. The wrong one. You're never gonna pull that off with me. Because I literally was addicted to drugs and I was never a fucking monster. Okay? Fuck out of here.
That does happen to people. So he wanted to emphasize that and saying now he's a changed man. He's not on the drugs. He has been behind bars. So his statement, from my perspective, seemed very authentic when he was apologizing. Now, I realize that a lot of the victims have written in and said that he will do this again, that he is not sorry for his crimes. So I can understand where they're coming from as well. But when he was delivering it, Judge Ashley, to your question, it did appear as if he was being sincere. Now, I'm sure a lot of people would.
Are you serious? Bitch, are you fucking kidding me? It did appear sincere. He's a manipulator. Okay? You can't be a successful sex trafficker and deal in humans without being a good manipulator. Okay? You can't be one of the most successful music heads that is in control of all these other people. Bro, just watch my short on my YouTube called From Making the Band to Taking the Stand. A Diddy retrospective. From making the band to taking the stand. Okay? You'll see just how manipulative this motherfucker is. You believe a word that comes out of this dude's mouth? Yeah, because sociopaths are good at mirroring human behavior. He knows what he needs to say for dumb fucks to believe it. All he has to do is be, man, I grew up in a bad environment and I had struggles and I was on drugs. And people are like, fucking tearing up. Get the fuck out of here. Play that video again, him violently kicking that fucking, like, oh my God, bro. People are so easily manipulated. It's sad.
Disagree with that analysis, but from my standpoint, he was emotional, turning around, talking to his family, talking to his mother, and the emotions were running high in court. But of course, that does not take away from the damage that he has done to Cassie Ventura, Jane, and the other victims of domestic violence who he also addressed and apologized to as well.
You know what's interesting, Kelly, that the defense told the judge.
Well, that's the thing, bro. Like most of this trial, it seemed like, because it seemed like that whole part of it was almost like, I don't know. I don't even know if they were like allowed to talk about certain shit, which is weird, bro. I always thought it was weird. In like certain criminal cases, they can tell, like the judge can decide what is or isn't acceptable to bring up in court for your defense. In my opinion, nothing should be off limits in your defense, first and foremost, which is ridiculous. Like, people be like, oh, you're not allowed to bring up an alternative theory about this other person actually murdering. Like, what? What do you mean? Anything should be allowed in someone's defense, 100%. But in this instance, it almost seems like they like went out of their way not to even get into any of that shit, any of the freak off, any of the, like, I swear they made it specifically about, like, you know, it's the whole like wave the right hand so you don't see what the left hand's doing shit. You know what I mean? It's a fucking clown show.
That really he couldn't consider the domestic abuse because that's not what he was convicted of. But correct me if I'm wrong, some of the things I'm seeing from what the judge said, he did in fact consider the effect on these victims and the hold he had over them. And from his statements to the court, is it fair to assume that the judge did in fact consider their statements as well as their voice in considering his sentence?
Michael, that's such a great question, and this will definitely be addressed on appeal. Defense counsel will most likely appeal this sentence, saying that it's excessive, saying that he considered acquitted conduct. So when you take a look at the briefs that were submitted on behalf of defense counsel,
You see, you notice how even in this news clip, they just keep playing the footage of him and Cassie. Like, they're acting as though that's all this man was like facing, was like battery charge, domestic battery charges. It's almost like, honestly, bro, it's not like I don't even want to play anymore because it just feels like programming at this point. It's like they're trying to put that in people's minds, like that's the charges he was facing, was for beating that girl up on camera and not other horrendous fucking thing. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy.
but he said he is not precluded from considering other conduct, relevant conduct, and the manner in which that conduct was done. And he specified threats, coercion, force. So he felt in fashioning his sentence that he was able to consider those kind of things. He talked about a jury convicts people, convicts a defendant on charges, not conduct. So he felt he could consider the conduct.
Interesting. All right.
Interesting. Almost sounds like bullshit. The judge says, we convict people on charges, not conduct. Okay, but if the charges are conduct-based, like having fucking wild freak-offs with unwilling participants, that's conduct that you need to consider in lieu of charges. You understand? You can't just say, we look at just charges and not conduct. Name me another case ever. I'll wait. Name me another case where they only focus on the charge, right? If you get charged with murder, they'll always look in the conduct of the person, okay? Because it leads to character, which leads to like more circumstantial case against you. So of course you look at conduct. If someone's on trial for murdering their wife, you don't just look at, well, what's the timestamp? When was the bullet fired? And do we have direct video evidence of him in the room? If not, he must walk free. Like, no, of course you look at conduct. You look at, were they fighting? Do we have witnesses? That she had fucking domestic abuse calls all the time to the house? Was there references made to her friends that she was in fear of her life? She thought this dude was going to kill her. Of course you look at all that. What the fuck are you talking about, Judge Submarine? This is fucking infuriating me, dog. This is infuriating. Whereas the Mexican mob, you get, bro, for real. I'll tell you where they're at. They're in the jail taking his courses on how to run more successful human trafficking rings. Okay? That's where the Mexican mafia is. They're in the prison-approved The prison approved Diddy class called Free Game, where he teaches you how to be a better sex trafficker. Okay. Okay. But yeah, I'm done. I'm done with this. I'm done with this topic for real. I don't know. We could get into other shit. I almost feel like just wrapping this up, and we could even go live again later to talk about other shit, bro. I'm done. I'm disgusted. We looked at all the statements. We look at what he said to the judge, what the judge said about him. We all know what it is. It's fucking ridiculous. It's disgusting. I don't even feel like talking about it anymore, to be real. But yeah, free the bro. Get the fuck out of here. Nah, bro, stop it. Well, you ain't gotta wait long. I'm sure he'll be out shortly. But I appreciate all y'all for pulling up. Make sure you hit that like for sure. Salute to the new subscribers, the people that just came in on the stream. I'm pretty sure it's probably that John dude. Pretty sure he subbed. But yeah, so if you're new here, subscribe for more. And we just did it's on my community post. You can go look. We just covered the Bad Bunny ruining the halftime show and the situation with these comedians. I'm just gonna pull it up real quick to show you. So look, it's funny because it's like we cover something and then everyone else covers it, which is crazy. But look, Bad Bunny, the Super Bowl, and the comedians, there was like 30 of them, all the biggest famous comedians in the world, all took Saudi Arabian blood money to perform at the Saudi Arabian Comedy Festival. Yeah, come down to the Saudi Arabian Comedy Festival. They paid Bill Burr $1.5 million to shill for the royal family that they're known for literally having slaves and committing human rights violations. But apparently all these people are cool with taking blood money and shilling for Saudi Arabia. It was a fire live. It was. So check that out for sure. I disputed the Ice Cube, the crazy race swap show. They pulled Oprah Winfrey Network, removed the live, banned worldwide. I disputed it. It's back up right now while they figure out the dispute. It's back up, so I don't know if it's gonna stay up, but definitely check that out. And bro, he definitely got a bag. He said it himself. I'm not making that number up. $1.5 million to do this Saudi Arabian comedy festival. Salute Oprah. Fuck out of here, dog. No, fuck her. She's the one that fucking tried to take my shit down. Pause. Tried to take my video down. And I had to dispute it. And I still haven't got the final answer. So fuck Oprah. Fuck Oprah. Salute, Bruce. Salute. But yeah, that's back up for now. Yeah, we've had some fire content lately. And we have a lot more coming. I do have an announcement shortly. Maybe I'll wait to make that. Yeah, that live was absolutely fire. And we are going to continue episode 2 and 3. Maybe we'll do that tonight. I don't know. We'll see. I might do. I'm working 5 to 1 tonight. So I might, maybe when I get out, or maybe I'll do another time that's better in case that one gets taken down too. But I'll let y'all know for sure. We got it. Oh, you didn't even, bro, definitely go watch that. That shit's hilarious. I know it's long. Pause. It's a long one. It's 2 episodes, so there's a lot of commentary, but absolutely fire. Absolute gold. Yeah, we got a bunch of good shit coming up. I do have an announcement regarding The Ring. The Ring's glorious return. The Ring will make a glorious return before the year is up, and wait till you hear who we have in the ring. Aside from that, yeah, we got all kinds of good shit coming. Songs, videos for songs, more songs. Maybe I'll drop my caution bars too. I've been thinking about it because they're kind of fire. And at this point, I'm not really interested yeah, by all means, bro. If you, by all means, yeah. I don't even know what I was saying. Yeah. So at this point, I don't know if I'm ever gonna battle Lady Caution and Lady Caution 757. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm even interested in it anymore. So maybe I'll just drop those bars because they were kind of fire. But yeah, definitely stay tuned and all that. I'm still champ, bro. I mean, yeah, you were the one that said you're gonna throw it in the East River like Stone Cold. So. But definitely, yeah. If you want to get on, we were trying to get an opponent for someone. I won't say it here, but I've been talking to different people and shit. We do have a one headliner battle and some potential battles for the rings return. They're gonna be fire, but yeah. I'll see y'all later. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Hit the motherfucking Cash App. Hit the Cash App. I'm just playing. But yeah, salute y'all. Is it over? Is it over?
Is it over? Is it over?
What's up, dude?
Yo, hey.
There's a delay.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
All right, we good now?
Yeah.
All right, word.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking if you want to make one of the announcements.
Yeah, I'll make a video for it. I don't think this is the right live. This ain't the right live to do it on at the end of. I feel like I'll do it.
True.
I'll release a trailer for it or something.
Good point. Bro, this card is gonna be better than Killer's Row.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Damn. And I might be on it. We'll see.
Damn. I might not be. No, I'm just kidding. Oh fuck. Salute. I thought about playing the first half of the video for the me and Bruce track. I have that done, but I'm trying to finish up. But I don't know. I almost want to wait until I'm done.
Wait. Yeah.
But yeah. All right. I'm gonna leave. You can take over if you want.
No, I'm leaving.
I'm just playing. No, for real. I was like gonna get into other stuff, but I'm like I'd rather keep this short and just about this topic for newer people that come over here to watch this shit, and we can we'll spin the chair. We'll spin the chair on some other shit on a different live. I feel like
spin the chair.
I told y'all you'd be getting a barrage of Pablo content.
We put the crib and make that chair spin.
Stay. We have no entertainment started.
Let
me go get some coffee or something, and maybe I'll go live again. But
I just got home from work and I got some stuff to do. But otherwise, I would. But
just keep your eyes out. If you see another one scheduled, pull back up. But I'm ending this one. Is it over? It's over.
Is it over? Is it over?
It's over.
It's over.
It's over. Diddy's case is over, and his sentence will be over in like 3 months. I bet.
Facts.
It's fucking sickening. But salute y'all. See you later.
Peace.